Okay, we're talking about circles today. And would you agree if I drew a circle like this around the origin? That is, a circle is a collection of all the points that are equal distance from the center. Does that ring a bell? That is what a circle is. Okay, now, this distance right here, do you agree we usually measure that with an x? That's our x-axis, and therefore it's measured in x. And this distance here is measured in y, right? And then if this is a triangle with an x and a y there, then can you tell me the equation for this? All right, what is the equation we know for triangles like this? Right triangles? Have a seat. Have a seat and read it. What is the formula we know for triangles like this? Come on. You know something for triangles, don't you? Yes? There you go. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So in this case, we know A and B and C. So what's the equation for a circle? Come on. X, come on. Squared, keep going, plus y squared equals the radius squared, or in this case 1 squared. Very good. That's the equation for a circle. X squared plus y squared is equal to 1 squared. Okay. Now, does the radius have to be 1? No. Radius could be like a 4. Now it's x squared plus y squared equals 4 squared. All right, so that's the equation for a circle. Now, it, of course, gets a little bit more complicated looking when you change where the center is, because then you need to change those spots right there. And you need to say, it's not at the 0 anymore. Do you get how those were zeros before? 0, 0, because we were at the center. Oh, sorry, we were at the origin for our center. So do you get that if I moved my circle to like somewhere else, not at the origin, the center would be like here now? And that spot right there would be 3, 3. What's the radius on this guy? 7. So what's the equation for it? It's still x squared plus y squared equals the radius squared, but you get that this x squared plus y squared needs to be adjusted for the fact that the center is different now. So, anybody think they get it? What should I change it to? X minus 3? Yep. Got it. That's it. That's the equation for that circle. It has a center at 3, 3. Okay. Good question. Look at the parent one here. See how they both have minuses in there? So, yeah.
That would be plus 3 for x.
Think of it this way. Would you agree that what's in here is always counterintuitive? Remember that? What's ever inside of parentheses is opposite of what you'd think. So it's supposed to be 3, 3, but we used -3, -3. You get what I'm saying? So if the center was at 4, -6, and the radius was 2, here's what you do. X squared plus y squared equals 2 squared. Do you get the radius squared is easy there at the end? Okay, so then if the center's 4, -6, do you get that I would not use a 4 and a -6? I would use a -4 and a +6. See what I mean? Okay, so let's go to this slide right here. Find this one in the notes. If you haven't been able to find the notes, you can read it right off the board. And figure out what the center is. And the radius is easy to see. Just see how far it is from here to the edge. You should be able to write the equation. Don't worry about the domain and range till later. For right now, just write me the equation. why isn't it just x squared plus y squared equals 3 squared? Because that would be if the center was at 0, 0. So, pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. So, it's not x anymore, it's x. If this is negative 2, comma 1, is that where the center is? Is that what you guys used? Okay, good. Then, do you get I don't use x and with a minus 2? X plus 2. And the y, do you get that I don't use the 1? I use y minus 1? Equals 3 squared. Can you put a 9? Yeah. Can you put 3 squared? Yeah. Either way is fine. 3 squared is 9, so it'd be fine to put 9. Uh-oh. Squared right there. Yes. There we go. Raise your hand if you had the right equation for it. Awesome. Now let's go backwards and say, here's an equation. Oops. Sorry. Usually you have x first. You don't really have to have x first, but I usually do. This is the typical ACT question in a different way. They'll say, what's the center of the circle and what's the radius? Write them down for me. What's the center of the circle? What's the radius? This time I'm going to do the checking your answers thing a little different. I'm going to check the kid in the front row or second slot or whatever. And if they've got it right, I'm going to ask them to check everybody else in their row. They're going to get up. They're going to walk with their iPad and see if theirs is the same as everybody else's. Okay, so I'm going to pause while we try that. Okay, and that's all with the time we have for talking about circles for today. I may make up a second video and pop it in this folder for later.